Hi everyone. So in honor of Suicide Awareness Month, a subject matter that is near and dear to me personally, having a father and a grandmother who both died by suicide, I wanted to share a few thoughts on Spirit's perspective and the recurring messages I hear from those who have died by suicide. The greatest gift that we can give them, these souls who have died by suicide, is to forgive both them and the situation, recognizing that suicide is often the result of mental health issues, which is just as real as any other terminal disease or illness. And if we're involved in the death of a loved one due to suicide, the chances are really good that we have a soul contract with them, meaning we have karma of our own to balance and heal, and our own set of lessons to learn around it, such as empathy, compassion, non-judgment, and most importantly, forgiveness. When we leave the physical world and transition back to the spirit world, we meet up with our team in spirit, and we will eventually do what is called a life review. And what we find is that no one is judging us except for ourselves. Okay, we play both judge and jury, while our Council of Elders, which is a group of highly evolved spirit guides, they compassionately hold space for us to reflect on our life just lived. What Spirit has told me time and again is that at the end of the day, we're not judged on how we died, but on how we lived, okay? So it's about the quality of the life we lived, an accumulation of all of our choices and our character over the course of our entire lifetime. As it is often in life, we sometimes can be our own biggest critic, and we may have the tendency to be hardest on ourselves. So the greatest gift that we can give our departed loved ones to counterbalance the pain and suffering and struggle that their soul was or may still be wrestling with is to pray for their highest truth and highest healing. The other day, I had a small group reading. It was 8 people, and of those 8, I had 3 parents who lost their kids to suicide. One of the souls who came through offered insight to a spiritual tool that his dad could use, and therefore anyone here in this world could use, to help balance and heal the karma between their souls, clearing up any unfinished business or karmic baggage that remained between them. He shared that when we, the living, pray and meditate, that we should intentionally send out a beam of rainbow healing light from our heart chakra to their soul energy, okay? He explained that this practice was like extending an olive branch, and it would help to elevate both of their souls, allowing for their own spiritual growth and ascension process into the higher frequencies of healing, of light, and of love. So not only does lifting their soul up in prayer help their healing process, but in turn it helps ours as well. When we give a healing, we in turn receive a healing. What you put out there always comes back to you. So don't underestimate the power of prayer and forgiveness, both for the one who died by suicide and for yourself as well, okay? If you find that you're struggling with unresolved feelings of grief, guilt, and regret. What Spirit tells me is that if a suicide is meant to be prevented, it is prevented. This is where divine intervention comes into play. And this also brings in the whole suicide awareness idea, okay? So if you, listening right now, or if someone you know happens to be struggling with suicidal thoughts and feelings, then perhaps being here now listening to me give this message is your divine intervention. All right? Please know that help is available, and both in this physical world, but also in spirit. I synchronistically just got off a call with a client moments before recording this, and she is someone I've worked with before, and on paper it looks like her life is pretty great. Well, in full transparency, she admitted to me and her team in spirit that last weekend was really, really rough, and she slipped into a dark place having suicidal thoughts, something she's never experienced before. And she said that she's not mentally ill. She's just in a really rough situation right now. So her mom in spirit came forward, bending over backwards, telling her all sorts of signs as validation, to try and lift her spirits, through repeatedly sending her signs and synchronicities over the past few days and weeks, which she did validate as being true. But the intention of her mother's spirit was to encourage her to know that she could receive help and that she wasn't alone, to keep going and to call on all of them in spirit for their courage, their strength, their clarity and guidance, and their inspiration to help her to keep on keeping on, knowing that this too shall pass. Look, we are living in really interesting and for some hard times, definitely transitional, a lot of changes taking place on the planet right now. And so I've been working with so many people who have been feeling the same heavy, dark, and depressing feelings. And you don't have to be diagnosed as mentally ill to feel all of this, okay? It very well could be that it's a situational depression that you're going through versus a chemical imbalance. Either way, it's very real and it's still the same. You're struggling, and unfortunately, it's all too common these days. So I strongly encourage you, if that speaks to you, if this resonates, then seek out the help you need and deserve. And reach out to a trusted friend maybe, or a professional to help guide you to the right resources and the care that you need and that is available. So equally, it's important. My job as a medium is to remind you that you are never alone, okay? You have an army of angels, of spirit guides, of departed loved ones surrounding you. They're just waiting for you to place the call. So use prayer as a way to do that. Place that call. Pray to them for their support, their comfort, their guidance, reassurance, whatever it is you need to restore your mind, body, and spirit back to your divine wellness and a place of balance. Heartfelt prayers are always heard and received. So go within, get out of your head, get into your heart, pray from your heart for your highest truth and healing, as well as your loved ones in spirit. As always, I am wishing you brightest blessings in all.